think that there is kind of this misconception in pickleball. When you first learn pickleball, they teach you that a dink is supposed to bounce. And so people kind of have this idea of, hey, if there's a dink hit to me, I have to let it bounce. But technically that's not a rule, right? There's nothing that says that you can't take the ball out of the air. And so there are a lot of advantages with taking the ball out of the air, right? If Clint hits me a dink and I take the ball out of the air, he has less time to react to that next ball that I'm hitting, right? And pickleball in general, I like to think of it as a competition for time and efficiency. You know, if I can have Clint reacting slower to balls and I can have the advantage, maybe I won't see the advantage after one shot, but maybe after 2-3 shots where he's just getting less and less time to react to the ball, that's kind of what I want and what I'm looking for. So when you're dinking, you kind of want to pretend you have a small bubble around your body. And this bubble kind of helps you determine whether or not you should take that ball out of the air when it's hit to you. So if the ball is inside your bubble, that means you can comfortably take it out of the air. Okay, if it's outside of your bubble, that means like you feel like you're reaching so far, you're gonna flick your wrist, or you're reaching so far, you're gonna fall into the kitchen. In that scenario, you probably don't want to take the ball out of the air. Now there's kind of like this gray area, right? You're not really sure if it's inside your bubble, you're not sure if it's outside your bubble. It's okay to take a step back, but the key is how you take a step back. So sometimes what we'll see is people are really not sure, it's in that gray area, and they kind of take a step back this way. And so now my contact point is behind my body. And if my contact point's behind my body, I don't have as much control as if my contact point's in front of my body. So if you feel like you have to take a step back, I would recommend taking a step back this way. That way I'm able to keep my contact point in front of my body and I have more control over my shot and the trajectory of my paddle as I'm taking that swing. Okay, another reason is core position, right? If I am not taking balls out of the air, it kind of allows Clint to get me out of position, right? So sometimes what we'll see, Clint and I are dinking. If you want to hit me with the ball. And he hits one that's slightly deep, and I'm backing up here, and now I'm backing up again. And so now, right, not only was my contact point getting closer and closer to my body, which I don't really want, but now I'm like almost in mid-court, and did Clint earn that, or did I just give it to him? I just gave it to him, right? Because that same shot that he was hitting, if I took that ball out of the air, now I don't end up mid-court, giving Clint the advantage in that rally, right? Same shots that Clint was hitting, I can just take them out of the air and dink them back. And so now, if Clint's not taking the balls out of the air, he's gonna be the one that's getting out of position, losing time, right? So in terms of that core positioning, you want to make sure that you take those balls out of the air when you can, when you feel comfortable and they're in your bubble, so that you're in better core position. The other advantage of taking balls out of the air is that you will see opportunities to attack, right? So we talk about less time. If I am dinking with Clint and I attack a ball off the bounce, he has way more time to react to my attack, right? Because the ball's bouncing. Maybe he sees me take my paddle back a little bit more. He can see that I'm about to attack the ball. But if we're dinking and I take a ball and I attack out of the air, now he has significantly less time to react. And he can't really tell as much that I'm about to attack that ball, right? So again, taking balls out of the air, you take time away from your opponents. It's better core positioning. And you're able to attack balls that you might not be able to attack if you were, you know, maybe 2 feet off the kitchen line, right? If I'm playing somebody like Clint, you know, maybe he's a really good player. A lot of the times I'm only going to get opportunities to attack those balls if I'm right behind that line, kind of leaning forward and looking for those opportunities. Whereas if I'm here, if Clint's a really good player and he's hitting really quality dinks, I am never going to see an opportunity to attack, right? So you definitely want to be taking balls out of the air when you can.